dynamic poses. Yes, finally we are gonna draw action poses. Dynamic poses are also called as action poses because, well, they have some action in them. They always have some action in them. They have some movement. They are very flowy. They are very dynamic. They are not stiff at all. So that is why they are called as dynamic poses. And sometimes foreshortening poses can also be called as dynamic poses because they look dynamic, even if it's of a person just standing or sitting. Alright, so how do you draw them? How do you draw these dynamic poses and make your characters look cool? As if they are frozen in time, doing some sort of crazy action pose. Woo! The first and foremost thing to remember while drawing any pose whatsoever, be it dynamic poses, be it normal standing poses or sitting poses, alright, is to keep it loose. Okay, keep your hand loose, keep your hand always moving. Okay, do not stop while drawing. Okay, that will facilitate, that will allow you to pour your energy into your drawing. Okay, so keep it loose, keep it simple. Okay, do not complicate stuff. Now the most important thing about drawing any pose whatsoever is the gesture. Okay, the gesture lines simplify the pose at the beginning into S's, C's and I's. Right, so I have two poses over here. This one is a foreshortened pose and this one is a normal pose. So if you simplify these poses into simple gestures, so this is a line of action for this particular pose. So it's a C and this is another C. So we have two C's. Now there is this another C which has been made by both of our arms. Okay, so remember that. Okay, so you have to figure out all of these gesture lines before you actually begin drawing the pose. Next, once you have established the gesture lines, what you want to do is establish the shoulder line and the hip line. So in any pose whatsoever, while we are standing or sitting, the shoulder line and the hip line are offset to each other. They are not parallel. They are never parallel. So over here, the hips are like this and the shoulders are like this. Remember that they are very offset. They are not like this. Okay, that is a wrong thing. So always facilitate the hips and the shoulders. Once you have done that, 50% of the work is done. 50% of the work is finished. All right, then you can start adding these bigger shapes like her torso, like her head, legs, arms, and after that you can start breaking down the bigger shapes into smaller shapes. Like you can start adding muscular shapes like for the forearm, the legs, the gastrocnemius, the thighs, etc, etc, etc. Okay, now moving on to the second pose. Here this is an S. The line of action is an S. Her hips and shoulders are again offset. Then her legs make a C. Her arm is just a straight line, so whatever. So we have established this pose. The most important thing is the shoulder line and the hip line. Once you have established that, you can start adding the torso shape. And once you have added the torso shape, based on that shape, you can add other parts of the body. Right? And that's it. We are done. And that is exactly how you draw these dynamic poses. It is pretty simple. Now, another tip to remember is to keep your drawings very loose, very rough. Okay, let them be messy, let them be scribbly. Okay, because we are capturing the energy, the force of the lines of the action. Okay, so we are not capturing the structure or the detail, okay, or the complexity. We are capturing the flowiness, the energy of that action. So that is why keep your drawings messy, keep your drawings loose, keep your hand loose. Okay, and you will be drawing dynamic poses, or rather any poses whatsoever, in just no time at all. So this is a prime example of keeping my hand loose This is another cool pose I drew. This one was particularly difficult, not the gesture, but this her skirt was very difficult to draw. Okay, so that is why we have to use a reference and keep your hand loose, otherwise it's gonna get messy. And I love meats. They're cool, they're awesome. Okay, all right, and that's it for today. Okay, I hope you found something useful, you learned something useful. Go and take a reference, keep your hand loose and draw cool, awesome, dynamic poses. Okay, so yeah, so if you like the video, please share it with a friend. Okay, if you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe and join the Discord as usual, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.